Over the past few months, several of you have reached out to ask me what I think about a particular $250 leather bag that has gone viral online. It is not a bag that I had heard of, however, and it's not from a brand that I have ever even looked at. So I ordered it. I actually ordered 2 of them to see what the fuss is all about. And y'all, the quality is terrible. So in this video, I will show you the 2 bags that I got, show you the quality issues, there are a lot of them, and try to de-influence you if you have found yourself interested in this bag. Plus, because this bag is so not worth $250, but a lot of people are really interested in the style, I will also share 10 similar bags where you will get a lot more bang for your buck. Some of them are about the same quality, but they're a lot cheaper, and some are at a similar price point or more expensive, but they were a lot better quality. So stay tuned. And welcome, I'm Autumn Beckman, and I'm here to help you live your most luxurious life within your budget. I post new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so please subscribe so you don't miss those and so you don't miss my daily community posts where I share the best sales of the day and fabulous handbags that I find. Also, don't miss my website, autumnbeckman.com/shop. That's where you'll find handbags and accessories that I have for sale, including what's left from my recent vlog sale. And that's where you'll find the My Handbag Collection Organizer. These are planner pages that I've designed to help you organize your handbags and your life. The heart of which is the item tracker page. This is where you can record everything you'd want to know about your handbags and small goods. I also have wish list pages, purchase trackers, pages that help you track how you use your collection in various ways, a variety of calendar layouts so you can find what works best for you, and so much more. Now, this viral $250 leather handbag that so many people are going crazy about is the Emerson tote from Free People. Y'all, not worth it. I do not recommend this bag. First, let me give you an overview of it and show you the second one I got, because it comes in 2 sizes. This is like the regular size, and then there's also a baby size. So there's a little comparison of those 2 sizes. My larger one is in the color espresso, and the smaller, the baby, is in the color saddle. So I'll bring this closer, give you an overview of the bag, and then we'll start tearing it apart, basically, because there's so much wrong with it. So buckle up. First, a little spin of the bag. There is the front. And I think you can see that the leather has a little bit of burnishing. So there are some darker edges like around the zippers and seams and other places. So there's the front. Here's the side. I do still have everything taped up like it was when it got to me because these 2 bags are absolutely going back. There is a buckle inside here, and then this is where the crossbody strap attaches, so that would just be a D-ring and a snap hook. Here's the back of the bag, so no pockets back there, but you can see there's more burnishing along those seams. The other side, the bottom, which does have feet, so that's a plus. And even the handles are taped up, and I'm leaving them all like that, but it's got a zipper along the top. Okay, since we're on the handles, let's start with those. As soon as I touched these, I could tell they are so cheaply made. There is no real structure inside here. You can see they're very soft and bendy. Now, on one hand, that's a really good thing because they are soft. They feel like they're filled with foam. The good thing about that is wearing this bag on the shoulder, that gives you a lot of padding and it makes it really comfortable to carry on the shoulder. So that is a big plus for this bag. However, here's one of my Coach Empire bags. This is also an all leather bag with rolled handles. And these handles do have some pliability to them, but they feel a lot more structured. They also feel soft enough that you could wear it on the shoulder if these were long enough, and it would be comfortable. But they stand up very nicely on their own, and the craftsmanship is very clean. You can see how smooth the leather is, and I mean that in terms of the tightness of the leather wrapped around whatever's inside it. You can see how nice the stitching is, and perhaps you can see, it might be hard, the glazing on the inside of this handle, and how clean that is and how straight it is. We're back to the Emerson now. So in contrast, these handles are smushy and bendable, but the leather is not pulled as tightly. There is some stitching in here, which you kind of have to pull the edge around to be able to see that well. Is the stitching even? Yes, because it was done on a machine like most bags are these days. But the glazing Look how uneven that edge is, how wobbly and bendy it is. And the handles, while they are soft to carry on the shoulder, they just feel so cheap. Also, look how the handles are attached to the bag here, how the ends are finished off with this piece that folds around both sides. And it's not sewn down, it's just attached with this rivet. And that again, you just don't have clean lines here. It looks sloppy. And that's a word that came to mind many times as I started looking over the details on these bags. The chaps here, where the D-ring is attached to the bag. Again, they're not straight. And even though you see stitching around there, that's not sewn down. It's just attached with the rivets, which makes that look less straight. The edges here are glazed again, but they're just not straight. Everything is wonky on this bag. Sloppy, sloppy. Another thing that I noticed on both of these bags with this front pocket here is that on this side, the edge of that pocket is flush with the bag. It's flat, right? But on this side, it's like there's a gusset almost, but there isn't. It's completely open. It's just that that front pocket is smushed and like folded to the side, and it shouldn't be designed where that should happen. And then look how messy the bottom is here. I watched several videos of people talking about this bag, and one of the things that they say repeatedly is how soft the leather is and how much they love the leather. As someone who has had a lot of leather bags go through my hands, this leather is terrible quality. First of all, I would not describe it as soft. I would describe it as thin, and I think people may be confusing those things. Because this leather is so thin, and that's one of the things you can feel on the handle is how thin the leather is, and that's part of what contributes to all the wrinkling and the misshaping up here. But because the leather is so thin, it's a really squishy bag. There's no structure to this bag. I actually have something in it right now, another bag that's giving it more structure, because it was arrived with the base folded up against the back, and it would not lay with a flat base like this unless I put something inside of it. And that's not a big deal because you're going to have stuff inside the bag anyway. So the leather is thin, which is something that they do to make the bag cheaper. But the leather also doesn't feel good. To me, it has some kind of coating on it that makes the leather feel a little plasticky. If I had to guess, I would guess that this is not real leather. In fact, it is, according to the Free People website and the descriptions. It doesn't say what kind of leather it is, it just says 100% leather. On the Nordstrom website, I think in the title of the listings where they sell this, they call it lambskin, but I haven't seen any descriptions, including on the Nordstrom website, where it says that the leather is lambskin. So I'm not sure where Nordstrom got that. Could it be lambskin? Perhaps, but the worst lambskin I've ever put my hands on. And let me show you another thing about this leather up close. And this is something I noticed right away when I got this in my hands, but it may not be super obvious on the screen. And it really bothers me. It's that there are all these panels to the leather, right? There's a panel here for the pocket, and a panel here, and a panel here, and a panel here. And on the back, there are 3 panels, and on the bottom, you have 3 panels. Look how wrinkly the bottom is. That's horrible. That is not good quality. But back to my point. You have all these different panels, and the panels are not the same grain of leather. Some panels, like this, are very smooth, and then other panels, like on the back of the bag, are very pebbly. On this pocket here, what's contributing to all that wrinkling is the animal hide itself, where there are wrinkles in the leather. Now we all know that animal hides are a natural material. They have different grains, different pebbling, different wrinkling across the hide. However, for bags that you're going to charge $250 for, it's a good idea to match the pebbling and the wrinkling across the bag. It is very sloppy to mix it all up like this. Also, on a bag that costs $250 and that you're telling people is real, authentic, 100% leather, it should smell like leather, and it doesn't. It has more of a chemical smell. And I've seen people in comment sections talking about this bag say the same thing. A $250 bag should not have a chemical smell. That's another indication that this is very cheaply made. Now I understand that Free People is a boho brand, and things are supposed to look kind of thrown around and a little worn. And this bag certainly has that look, especially with the burnishing. And you can do a much better job of that if you're going to charge $250. That's my big thing about this. It's less about the quality for me, it's more about what they're charging for that quality. I think people are really getting ripped off here. Not that people don't get ripped off when they're paying over $1,000 for a Louis Vuitton bag or $10,000 for a Chanel bag, but at least those bags are excellent quality. Let's look at this metal tag for a second. It has some engraving on it that says "we" here in script, and then "we the free." So this is, I think, a line that Free People does called "We the Free," and this bag is part of that line. Even this, I don't know how well it'll come across, but that could have easily been polished without adding much cost. There's discoloration in this. The edges aren't super sharp, but they haven't been rounded out like the corners have. But I'm talking about the long edges. Over time, if this is on the bag, it can definitely scratch that leather. So that's another overlooked detail here. The little braiding type detail on that leather pull is nice. However, when you pull these leather pulls, they feel like they have some elasticity to them, which also makes it feel cheap. And part of that is just because this is so thin. It's the same with the shoulder strap. It's very thin. You can see there's some burnishing, so at least that detail is nice, but it's just not a high quality strap. Another thing people love about these bags are the interiors. They are pretty cute on the large bags. This one looks like a bandana print, and I think you can see there it says "We the Free" on the text. There's a little logo on leather inside there. There's a zipped pocket on the back. And on the front side, there's one big slip pocket. So that's a cute detail, and all of the other pockets, the big slip pocket on the front and the 1, 2, 3 zippered pockets also on the front, all have that patterned lining in them. The baby Emerson, however, does not have that. The interior of the baby bags are just a solid color. In this case, it's tonal to the outside of the bag. The front does not have any pockets. The back has that little logo and the zipped pocket. The front of the baby bag has all the same features as the larger one. You have that slip pocket there, the zip pocket here, and you have the 2 diagonal zip pockets on the side of the front. This would be the metal tag. By the way, that big bag is $250. The baby bag is $178. And the baby bag has smaller handles. I think most people wouldn't want to wear that on their shoulder, though it could fit. So there's the front, the sides, and you can see how poorly done this is too. It's just all bendy and I'm kind of disgusted by the quality of this. Hate to say for anybody who might like these, but trying to warn people against them because they're just not good. There's the bottom, and then the top has the zipper. And the baby has the chemical smell just like the larger one. I do like the colors, I like the finishings. I'm a little bit on the fence about the burnishing. I like that they do it, but I feel like the way they did it doesn't look great. It doesn't look like it happened naturally, but that's a hard thing to do. If you're still interested in these bags, I will put links below where you can find them. If you like the look of them and you don't mind the bad quality, you just don't want to pay $250 for that, you'd like it a lot less, I have some options for you. In my opinion, the Emerson tote should not be $250 if you haven't gathered that already. I think it should be more like a $40 or $50 bag. To me, it is Walmart quality. It is not $250 quality. When you're talking about bags at that price point, you're talking about Coach and Kate Spade, brands at that level that are much better. And even that price point would be lower end bags for those brands, but the quality is still so far superior to these. So let's take a look at some alternatives to this bag. And remember, all of the bags that I'll mention today will be linked in the description box below the video. The first is this dupe from Amazon, which looks exactly like the Emerson, but it's only $50. I almost ordered one of these to show you the difference, but I feel like the quality of these was so bad that this $50 one is gonna be about the same. It might even be better, who knows? With the inexpensive bags I'm showing you, a lot of them will be PU leather, polyurethane, vegan leather, which is not leather. But the leather that Free People is using for these bags is not quality enough to justify the $200 price difference between these two bags, I promise you. Now, one much more expensive option, but I feel like I need to point it out because I feel like this bag is kind of inspired by this luxury brand bag, the Balenciaga City Bag. Immediately when I first saw the Emerson tote, these are the vibes that I got, with the tassels and the casualness of the bag, kind of a moto look. I feel like these two bags have a lot in common. So if you do want to go to the other end of the spectrum and get a bag that has this kind of vibe and that's really high quality and you're willing to pay up for that quality as well as for the brand name, the Balenciaga City is the place to go. But back down to the much more affordable options. This one is from Aldo and it's a city bag dupe for $60. Steve Madden also has this one for $100. They have a few nice colors. There's a brown, a black, and blue. And I mentioned Walmart earlier. They have a satchel that fits along this theme. And this is the cheapest I'll tell you about. It's only $24. So I'd say don't expect much from that. But if you buy the $250 Emerson, don't expect much from that either. Amazon also has this satchel for $40. I love that braided detail along the sides. And there's this crescent shoulder bag that's really nice. This one is $80. And this studded hobo for $70. I think those are both great options that have the character of the Emerson, but in a different style bag. Another place to get this vibe at a higher price point, but so much better quality, is to look at the Coachtopia Alter Ego line. I have one of these shoulder bags. I love it so much. I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see the details. It doesn't have all the pockets and the tassels and everything that the Emerson has, but it does still have this detail with the stitching. And that's because each of these individual squares was taken from scrap leather that was left over from making other bags. So this is also a sustainable, eco-friendly option. And when these are in stock, they sell out a lot, like the Emerson does. They do have a few different colors. This one is honey. And that bag had the shoulder strap, but it also comes with a crossbody strap. This next option is my very favorite from all the ones that I'm showing you today. I think this is the best option to get the most bang for your buck, so high quality, but also around the same price point, if not less, as the Emerson tote, and that is the Coach Rider bag. These were released in 2014, so you'll only find them on the Preloved market. They come in lots of different colors. This leather is amazing. The hardware is really nice. It's from Coach, so you know it's great quality, and it has those vibes. I'll bring it a little closer. So it has, with the studs and everything, those kind of moto vibes, similar to the City bag or the Emerson. And little details, it's beautiful. It has the crossbody strap. This bag comes in 3 different sizes. This is the medium one. There's a taller one, and then there's like a little baby one. There's also the Coach Tatum tote, and I would say particularly the smaller shoulder bag version. I recently did a video on the Tatum. I'll link that below. You can get all the details about this one here. Another option from Coach that has some similarities to the Emerson is the Coach Peyton tote. This has those long handles so you can still fit it over your shoulder. It does not have a crossbody strap or any other strap, but you could potentially add one because it has the D-rings there at the base of the handles. So this still has that buckle detail along the side that the Emerson has. No tassels, but you have these awesome turn locks with the pockets, and these bags come in lots of different colors. So you can get something that's more neutral or something that's more colorful. And I have it stuffed right now, but it can be more squishy like the Emerson is. And these handles are much better made. And then I'd also want to mention Portland Leather Goods. Now their bags do not have the edgy vibe that the Emerson has, but they are full grain leather bags that you can get under $100 and under $150, under $200. So definitely cheaper than the Emerson. They are not very detailed bags. They're pretty simple designs, but better leather than what the Emerson has. And depending on the bag, you can dress it up with your own tassels and bag charms and things. Let me know what you think of the Emerson bag, especially if you have one, or you've been interested and then you saw it in person, and did it change your mind or not? What do you think of the quality? What do you think of the functionality? What do you think of anything else about it? Are there any other bags from Free People that you would recommend instead of the Emerson? Something that you think would be higher quality, or is this typical of what they make? Because these are the only bags I've ever seen from them. Let me know in the comment section below. And while you're down there, you can find all the links to all the bags that I showed you today, as well as the link to my website, autumnbeckman.com/shop, where you can find handbags, accessories, and my planner pages. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope to see you back here next time, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.